Fireside Chat. With Her Royal Highness Queen Diambi Kabatsotswila Tishioyo Mwata of the Bakwu Indu at Kasai Democratic Republic of Congo, and Dustin Plantholt, Crypturns.
Hello, everybody. Hello again. I'm Dustin Plantholt. While it says up here, founder of Crypturns.com, it is a crypto career center. My team and my partners in the alliance that we've built, we wanted to do something to make a difference, an act of kindness to give back. You know, acts of kindness come in many different ways. I will tell you, David Boo Haji over there on the left-hand side, I was in a hurry. I was running about 10 minutes behind, and I went up and I said, would someone buy me a cappuccino? I'll pay you back. Now, someone around here kind of pay him back for me. He didn't hesitate. He said, of course, I'll buy you a cappuccino. The act of kindness, it goes a long way. And the next person I'm going to be bringing to the stage, the Queen herself, spreads kindness everywhere she goes. And it's with that, it is with the greatest of honor that I invite up on the stage my dear friend and my sister, Queen Diambi of the Congo.
Hello, everyone. Greetings.
I got to give you a hug. So, my queen, how do you do this? Let's take a seat.
Yes.
How do you spread kindness? Because not all of us are a queen. I mean, can you take someone average, or do we all have the ability to spread an act of kindness?
Well, I believe so. First of all, greetings. I have to, by protocol, state my name and status. So I'm Queen Diambi Kabatsotswila Chiyoyo Mwata Mukalenga Mukajiwa Nkashama Wabakwa Luntu people of Kasai in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So I'm Queen of the Order of the Leopard. I'm also Grande Mai do Povo Bantu Brasileiro. So I represent the traditions of the African descendants of Brazil. So when we talk about kindness, I think that the currency, the most effective and valuable currency is really love. We can talk all we want about all these new currencies and fiats and so forth. A lot of these things are actually tools in order for us to better our lives, and so we can be in position where we can, enjoy, being loved and also love others. So this is why I think that everybody is concerned by act of kindness, and it should definitely be a wonderful token to develop.
So I read a quote by Buddha, and it said, tell us a gentle way that we can shake the world. And what I'm hearing is an act of kindness can be that thing, that gentle way.
Yes, we're coming into a world where we're getting to meet each other more and more in a very diverse, environment, as we can even see today. And kindness has to be almost a motto. Respect and consideration has to be in the midst and in the center of all actions, because when we get in touch with people who are different from us, who come from different places, if you don't have that center value in the core, it's hard for you to let yourself penetrate by what is innovative that they can bring to your life to enhance you. And it's also hard for you to even share what you have to enhance somebody else. So kindness is definitely, with all the different components that it's really important value to me, and I hope it's for everybody else as well.
I love that. It's beautiful. And they say that to ask questions of a wise woman is to gain wisdom. And I've had many opportunities where you and I have been together, and I've got to ask you your story. And you always go back to saying, let me tell you the story of Africa. And they say that we are shaped and fashioned by the things we love. For those out there, all they know about Africa, most of them, unless they've been there, is what they read and what they see. So tell them its story, and maybe at least the condensed Reader's Digest version.
Well,
Its own
I'm
story.
sure many of you who don't know me yet are asking yourself what a traditional African queen is doing in a blockchain, crypto, NFT, metaverse space.
I have asked her that a few times in the past. So she's
And-
telling you for her friend Dustin. He's always like, what the heck are you doing here?
Yes, well, and it's just linking to your question about wisdom. And we are very smart people indeed. I see a lot of brilliant minds, and you're building all these extraordinary technologies, and you are, thinking and dreaming about a world where we have tools to enhance our capacity to act in the world and to materialize our dreams. However, sometimes we forget that wisdom is, should be in the midst of all our creation. And wisdom requires us to be selfless, because wisdom is always something that will measure our creation against what is indeed wise, how it's going to be serving not just a purpose for self-realization, but for our realization as a human beings, human species. So Africa has a lot to offer, and people really don't know Africa well, because for too many centuries almost, there's been like a blackout on African history, like an omerta. But the truth always emerge, and as I have been looking myself to know who I was and to affirm my identity, I started doing a lot of research about the African continent and what it has brought to civilization. And surprisingly, there's many things that people really don't even associate with Africa. Many people don't know that in the Congo, where I'm from, Central Africa, we are doing mathematics 25,000 years ago. So it's not just yesterday.
Did I just hear 25,000 years ago?
Yes, I didn't stutter.
I didn't read that in any
25,000
history
years
book,
ago.
Queen.
Yes, and also, for instance, another amazing work that came from Africa is simply without the African mind, we would not be here today talking about technology in the sense that we know information technology, because the binary code system is also coming out of an African mind and a couple of hundreds years ago. So many things that Africa has contributed to the world in terms of science, in terms of mathematics, trigonometry, arithmetic, in terms of medicine, in terms of philosophy, has yet to be given credit to African minds. But the reason why it's important is because if humanity denies a great part of our own story, because we've been mainly developed in Africa as humanity, we spent more than 3/5 of our human existence on that continent. And we didn't spend time there just, looking at the stars, gazing, and just like, very primal people. We really developed a lot of good ways to live in harmony with nature and with the environment without destroying it. So our human experience is mainly an African experience, and that's why I invite everyone to reconnect with that very amazing continent that will also be the future of humanity. And this is why blockchain for me is quite an innovative but also interesting technology, but it's not a new concept. In Africa, most of our civilizations were built upon the principles that are now being driven by blockchain, which is really about decentralization of decision-making process, decentralization of ownership of information, so that we can make better advised decision for the community. Because we're realizing very fast that this, civilization that where we made paramount the human individualism, wealth, is now coming to an end, where we understand that our personal wealth is not going to be meaningful unless we have a collective wealth that is rightly and equitably distributed. So all this technology is very nice, but if we don't use it as tools so we can promote that humanity really can have an equal or fair share of an equitable share of the resources, guess what? It's going to be very fantastic and exciting games, and it's just going to be another platform where many who are smart or who have access to technology can get richer and richer, but it's not going to solve the problems that we have in terms of how do we live together on this planet in a more harmonious way.
The meaning of life is to find your gift. I repeat, the meaning of your life will be to find your gift. The purpose of your life is to give it away. When did you find your gift? Was it under your pillowcase, or was it Was it outside? Like, when did it hit you? When did you have this aha moment that you found your gift?
Well, I suppose if you ask my mother or my parents, they would say that I was always somebody from the childhood going towards others because I guess I'm embodiment of the Ubuntu principle. Ubuntu is also African fundamental, value, meaning that I am because you are. So we don't exist in a vacuum. We exist because of the interactions with others and because of the impact we do in other people's life. So for me, going towards others, recognizing each other is really part of what it means for me to reach enlightenment. For me, enlightenment is not about being just like in some forest somewhere or in some mountain alone and humming. For me, enlightenment is every single time I see a beautiful being in front of me that is a miracle manifested, that is engaging with me and sharing beautiful energy. So for me, this is what I've always done. I always want to go towards others. I always want to know what is the miracle, what is the promise that you are here to manifest, so I can be either part of it, helping you manifest it, or I can be a witness of your promise manifested.
That's beautiful. Queen, I've learned a lot from you. And I do say that you do live this way. You live life like it's your last reincarnation. Like this is your last chance to get it right. So how do you prioritize your schedule? How do you make sure that you are using every day effectively to make an impact, to use your power, your influence, your smile? How do you keep yourself accountable to that? Because all of us in the room have influence in some way, in some shape, to make a difference.
Well, I would say maybe get a little bit out of your own head. I know that, this is a paradigm of intellect, but intellect can also lead us on the wrong path. And we've been definitely not shied away from smart. We've done a lot of smart things, but these smart things have also led us to now questioning our own and very existence on this planet. Is our own, sustainability, something that we're going to see one day. So for me, it's about connecting to the heart, because the heart is also an intelligence that's particular. We can say emotional intelligence, but we know now that our heart is actually neural cells, just like our brains. And for too long, we have favored the brain and the mental, processes and the intellectual processes, and we gave that paramount precedent over, the building of our civilizations. But I think now more than ever, we're going to have to make a decision to go back to the center, to go back to the heart, and to go back to what may seem to be, irrational value of emotion, but they are not so irrational. They're actually much smarter than we are, because they are advised by a higher intelligence, which is the cosmic intelligence. So I think that this is what you have to trust. You have to trust that you are a very complex being, beyond the mind, beyond the mental process, but you also have a more complex presence in your energy that you can, carry forth in the world. So for me, as ancient people have always, spoken about, there is a great mystery about who we are, and we have to tap into that in order to see manifest in what we do. Greatness. And that's why I'm always in this space, and I'm really engaging a lot of the younger generation. And I say, yes, fantastic, let's do a metaverse, let's do an NFT, let's do a blockchain, let's do all of the crypto. But at the end of the day, what is it for? What is the meaning of it if it's not going to be to enhance somebody else's life? If it's not going to be to sustain, the great diversity, the great biodiversity of our planet? Because the future, I'm also a Star Trek generation and Star Wars generation. So of course I want to zoom, I want to beep into space, I want to have these experiences, I want to have cars that flies, I want to have robots that do all my chores. But at the end of the day, we are realizing now more than ever that this is not a challenge for the future. It's easy. We're doing it. We're doing it every day. But what's going to be the challenge is going to be, how do we live together in harmony on this planet with each other, realizing we are one family, and with the environment that is so precious to sustain us as a species on this planet? And those are the fundamental questions that I would like to see this technology address. Even when we do metaverse, for instance, I speak with a lot of metaverse, big brains. And I tell them, how can you make it a tool so that I can protect the forests? Because I want your children and your grandchildren and your great-great-grandchildren to know what the beauty and the strength that the tropical forest of the Congo can bring to an individual to balance and structure your mind.
It starts with a mindset, a mind that lives in the past, locked itself within a prison. You need to set it free. What I have learned from Queen Diambi, and she has taught me that Africa has this way of setting you free, teaching you something new and ultimately inspiring you to become the one that creates the change. Queen Diambi, it has been an honor and a pleasure. And for all of you listening in, thank you again, my queen, till we meet again in Egypt.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you.